Well, good morning. If you're looking at this screen here in front of you, you have now completed the sentences and that you are now ready to move on to the general journal. So the general journal, or posting as it's referred to, is the second step of the accounting cycle, and we are going to post to the general journal. This should look familiar to you, but this also goes back quite some time. We haven't done this in a little while, so we're going to go ahead and go through this, and I think it's going to come back to you really quickly. We're going to post to this journal based on the transactions or the sentences we wrote for this mini practice set number 2. Before I get too far into it, though, I want to make you aware that I did make a mistake. And if you go back to the classroom page, and on Tuesday when I posted this, I inadvertently left out transaction or account number 305, Jennifer Rachel withdrawals. Now, for those of you that have turned in your work, I've already taken a look at that and noticed that it seems like you are all in good shape with that and that you at least took that into consideration. But eventually, as we continue to work down, you're going to need to note that this is account number 305, and it is Jennifer Rachel withdrawals. This was the 14th sentence that was written, and I'm going to now go ahead and move over to those sentences, and we're going to take a look at the first 2 sentences. And I'm going to do those with you and post those to the general journal. But note, oh, my bad, it was the 15th, I guess. On December the 18th was the transaction date. But note that I did highlight it. I just want you to be aware of it so that when you get to this point, you do know that that is a withdrawal account. So let's take a look at our first transaction where Jennifer had taken some money she'd set aside for quite some time and had come to a point where the $25,000 was enough capital to get her business started, so she invests in her own business, and we indicate that with a source document titled Memo 1. So if we go back to this general journal and we post to the general journal, the first thing we always start with is the year. So we're just going to put 20, and then from that point we're going to go to the month, and we know that this transaction occurs in December. And the first transaction was on December the 1st. Okay? Now, you'll see here in the next transaction, you just have to write the dates going down now. You don't need to write December. You just have to write the number or the date it happened on. So, the first account is always the debited account. And in this case, cash and bank is our debited account. It is account 101, and it's debited for $25,000. So you might remember these steps pretty quickly. The next transaction, or the next account affected, is her capital. So again, you can abbreviate if you need to. And her capital account, according to our chart of accounts, the worksheet I just minimized, was 301, hence why the mistake needs to be corrected now. And this is a credited account for $25,000. Coming back to you. And then our third and final thing is to stair step it in one more little piece and put the source document there. You can make a memo, that's fine too. So this is our first completed general journal entry. As I mentioned, I'm going to do 2 of those for you. So let's go ahead and scroll back here really quickly and take a look at our second sentence. And our second sentence indicates that on December the 2nd, we bought a cash register. We classified that as office equipment, and the cash register cost $525, and we wrote check 101. So, going back to our general journal. Now, this is a personal preference. Whatever works for you, but you'll notice I like to skip a line. My textbook does not. It just allows me to have a little more clarity and to see the differences a little easier. Up to you. I don't care one way or the other. So here we're going to list the debited account. And the debit account is office equipment. We are increasing our office equipment by adding this cash register to the business. And the office equipment, or the cost of the cash register, was $525. Our next transaction, indented, is the credited account. In this case, cash and bank is credited. It's decreasing because we are writing a check Whoops, I did that all wrong, didn't I? Let's indicate the correct here. Office account 150, and then for $525 in the debit column. And then cash and banks account is 101, and we credit it for $525. And then lastly, the source document indicated for this, we wrote a sentence indicating that we wrote a check, and that was check 101. Okay, so you have a handful of sentences to go through to complete the general journal. As you'll note on the Google Classroom page, I'm requiring that this be done by 5 o'clock on Monday, March the 30th. So please upload it to the Classroom page so that I can see that it's done. I'll grade these for you. And then when this is done, you'll be able to move on to the next step, which is going to be the general ledger. And on Tuesday, when you see the assignment posted, I'll have all that information for you and a sample video to help you get started there as well. All right, again, I stress this and I do mean it. I'm here to help. I know it's not the same as me walking in the door of our school, good old room 234, but I'm just a text message away or an email away. I want to make sure that you all are staying diligent on your work. And I want to help you to make sure we understand this together. So, you know where to find me. Miss you guys. I hope everybody's doing well. We'll talk to you soon.